प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. Pranams everyone. We are in the 4th chapter, Sloka number 18. Karmanyah karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manushyeshu yuktaḥ kṛitsna-karma-kṛit. So we saw that this is one of the important chapters where we are talking about Ātma being akarta and abhokta. Karmanya akarma pashyet. Karmani akarma pashyet. See inaction in action. That's the first line. And there we saw the example of when we are in a boat or in a train, we see the tree at a distance. The tree seems to be moving, but the correct understanding should be that the tree is not moving. So see the inaction in action. And this is to help us understand that, or it is basically talking about Ātma here. Ātma is not in action at all. So whenever you see the body or whenever you see any action, you have to remember that Ātma is not the one which is acting. Then akarmani cha karmayah. Akarmani karma pashyet. See the action even when the body is not in action. Even when the body and the mind is at rest, understand that even that state of rest is a state of action only, because it will come back to action. Anatma is always in the move, is in action. Atma is never in the move, never in action. So we then started seeing in the last class what is the benefit of this knowledge. And we took the second part, which is akarmani cha karmayah pashyet. Whenever I see that the body and mind cannot be brought to rest, whenever I know what is the benefit of me knowing that the anatma can never be brought to rest. The benefit for that is all our misconceptions we can overcome that. We can actually get a correct understanding of all the misconceptions that we have. And what are the misconceptions that we have? Typically, that being in responsibilities, being in the midst of duties, being in the midst of responsibilities is samsara. And if I am able to get away from this samsara, from these responsibilities, I will get peace of mind, permanent peace of mind. That is a misconception that we have. And what is a state? And we also have this moksha, means a state of akarma. If I am not doing anything, I am in the state of mental peace, and therefore that is moksha. What is the other misconception? That when we say we want peace, we expect to be in an environment where there is calmness, there is nobody talking, everything is smooth, and that kind of environment is actually mental peace. That is what is. And people talking about me, or people acting, or people shouting, being in a crowded place, those are the ones that disturb my peace. And therefore for my peace there has to be no one should disturb my mental peace by being around me, by not talking about me, by shouting here and there. So that is all the misconceptions that we have. Why we say misconceptions? Because the body, mind, this anatma can never be brought into a state of inaction. Because all these things we are talking about is the body, mind and the situations. All of them are anatma. And anatma can never be brought into a state of inaction. The mind cannot be controlled into a state of thoughtlessness. The situations around me cannot be made quiet and serene at all times. The body cannot be lying in a single place without moving for beyond 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, at the most half an hour. So this we have to understand, and therefore to have this understanding that only if I am able to bring my mind to rest, only if I am able to bring the situations around me as calm and serene, I will be in a state of moksha, is the misunderstanding that we have to remove. So, in other words, my peace, my happiness cannot be dependent on the body, the mind, or external situations. That the expectation that I should not be disturbed by my body should be always perfect, it cannot go wrong. And the expectation that people around me, the relations around me will not create any problem, will not create any issue. That the situation around me will always be conducive to me, to my liking. That is the wrong expectation. And as long as we have that expectation, our mental peace will get disturbed. So we'll never get mental peace. If we try to hide behind meditation, yes, we can do meditation. But that meditation, only during the time you will have that mental peace. The moment we come out of meditation, it is back to the grind. So the second line or the second part of this, akarmanicha karmaya pashyet, helps us to get this proper understanding. That if you are searching for peace in the body or in the mind or in the situations around us, we will never get it. This is the benefit of the second part of the first line. Until this we had completed in the last class. Now we will see what is the benefit of understanding the first part of the line, which is karmani karma akarma pashyet. One who sees inaction in the seeming actions of Ātma. In other words, I should see that I am not the one who is in action. I am not the one who is acting. I, the self, is always in the state of inaction. Now, what is the benefit of this? To explain this benefit, let's understand what is samsara. Now, samsara can be explained in many ways. In the first chapter, we saw samsara to be raga, shoka, moha, the combination of attachment, sorrow, and delusion. That is called as samsara. Wherever there is attachment, there is sorrow, and wherever there is sorrow, there is delusion. So that is one way of explaining samsara. Another way of explaining samsara is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryam. As long as we have these kind of qualities, we are said to be in the state of samsara, because our mind will not be able to accept, understand that I am the Ātma. Another way of explaining samsara is this constant feeling of apurnatva, that I need to do this for me to be happy. I need to achieve this for me to be happy. I need to be with this person for me to be happy. I need to be away from this person for me to be happy. This constant state of apurnatva, that I still have a craving for something, that is also another definition of samsara. So there are many ways to define samsara. Yet another way of defining samsara, we can say, is a guilt feeling. The guilt feeling is, that guilt feeling that we are talking about is, throughout our life we always think, I should not have done that. In the past, I should not have studied that course. I should not have joined that job. I should not have married that person. I should not have that. I should not have that. Or we should say, I should have done that. I had an opportunity to do this, but I missed it. I should have done that. I should have done this. So it's a constant, this guilt feeling of I should not have done that or I should have done that is also samsara. So Taittiriya Upanishad, when it talks about moksha, it says a person who has attained moksha will not have this feeling of kimaham sadhu na karavam, kimaham papam karavam iti. As in, it says this person will not have this feeling that I should have done that, I should not have done that. But the problem for us is, from the time we wake up, we have this feeling of guilt. And that is because we are not willing to accept our own actions, either as omissions or commissions, whatever it is. So now, by having this knowledge, which knowledge? I, the self, is always in the state of inaction. I do not act. Although seemingly I seem to be acting, it is not me. If by having this knowledge, I realize that the actions or the inactions, even for those things that we had not done, are by the body and the mind. And therefore, I do not claim the activity of the body or mind. I will not claim that it was me who did it. I am free from all action. I am a karma. Only if I think I have done those actions, only then I will have a problem of, oh my God, why did I do this? Or why did I not do it differently? So how do I accept it that for those actions that are seemingly performed by me, that I should not take ownership to it, that I should not take guilt feeling out of it? It is similar to, say, in sleep or in a dream, we kick someone. We kick someone in a dream or even during sleep. For example, we are doing it, we might accidentally kick someone, or when we snore in the sleep. Will we get happy or unhappy over something that we did or we did not do in our dreams? In our dreams, we did not do something, we did something. Will we get happy or unhappy over that? No, because it is all happening in the mind. Because it's still, dream is also a work of the mind. So the mind is actually active then. If that is the case, for the activity that is done by the mind, do we claim ownership on that? We do not. Or a physical activity itself. In the sleep, accidentally we kick. It's a physical activity done by the body. The body has done it. Do we claim ownership on that? No. So what we understand here is, we do not feel unhappy, or we do not feel bad, or we do not feel guilty, even if there is something that the body or the mind does. So the body and the mind performs actions, but we are not unhappy about it. We do not take any guilt feeling about it. So only when we consider it is done by me, we can feel unhappy, we accept that guilt. But body and mind are different from me. That understanding we have to get. So Bhagavan says here, the actions that you think are done by you, are not actually done by you. For that we have to understand that you refers to the Ātma. As long as I think I am the body and mind, I am doing the action. Remember, so we should not confuse both these tenets of knowledge. In one side, I will claim myself to be the body and mind, and I cannot claim that the actions are not done by me. If I want to claim that the actions are not done by me, then I cannot have ownership or ahankara or abhimana or the identification on my body to be me. So Bhagavan here says, the actions are, you think the actions are done by you, but it's actually not done by you. It is the body and the mind which performs the actions. And once we have this knowledge, we can claim that the body sometimes does actions, it sometimes does not do actions, the mind does actions sometimes, the mind does not do some actions, but I, the self, I am akarta. A question will come, okay, what happens when the body or mind does something nice and good, and then sometimes it does something bad and nasty? I am the akarta. I will not get affected. I will not get affected. Yes, the body and mind will take the effect of it. Ātma does not. The right done by the body will have its effect on the body. The wrong done by the body will have its effect on the body. I, the Ātma, I do not experience good or bad. I neither do good nor do bad. And therefore, if we have this knowledge, the one who is answerable to all the actions are only the body and the mind. I am not answerable. But remember, this knowledge is something that we have to keep within ourselves. It is not for broadcasting it. It is not for letting others know about it. That I am not the acting person, I am akarta, the body is the one which is talking to you. It is my mind which is talking to me, it is thinking, I am akarta. We cannot be going around saying this to others. It is for us to understand. It is for us to keep reminding ourselves. And even when the body goes through pain or sorrow, when the mind goes through sorrow, we have to understand it's the body and the mind. I am not the one who is affected. And thereby we can remove the guilt feeling. And when the guilt feeling goes, that is liberation. That is moksha. The removal of samsara is moksha. As I said, I gave 4-5 definitions of samsara. Each of those definitions of samsara, if we are able to remove it, then we are in a state of moksha. But this tattva is not easy to understand. That's why Bhagavan said in Sloka 17, what did he say? Gahana karmano gatihi. The knowledge about action is so subtle, it's difficult to understand. And this is very difficult to understand and also difficult to implement. But it is very important. It is very important. Bhagavan spends not just this 18th sloka, he is going to spend a few other slokas explaining the same thing again and again in different ways. You will feel that it's actually an overdose, so much so. Already we are going slow and we are repeating the same stuff again and again, but it is important that we understand this. Even if we don't understand it, take it as much as we can, keep reminding ourselves, keep listening to this again and again. And it is very confusing also. That's why Bhagavan said, Kavayopyatra mohitaha in Sloka 16. Even sages are deluded. Even the wise are confused. So this is deep, and however much we are attentive in the class, it's kind of difficult. We may sometimes think we have understood it, or we may even understand it, but the problem is not easy to remember, not easy to retain the knowledge, not easy to accept this knowledge, that I am not the body and the mind. That will take some time, but the knowledge is important. The more we study ourselves, and it's not going to happen overnight. Tonight I'm going to study this, tomorrow morning I wake up thinking I am not the body, I will be having this. That is not going to happen. It is a slow process, and the more we study our knowledge, and every time there may be some failures so we will come back to this body identification, mind identification. We'll have to get up, as in mentally, and go back to the state, reminding ourselves of what Bhagavan has taught us, what the Shastras say about us, say about me. The more we study ourselves in this knowledge, we will be able to slowly get that attitude that I am a karta. I do not have any doership. I am just a witness principle. Nirvana Shatakam, Shankara says, Aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. I am neither the food, nor the eater, nor the enjoyer. I am not the eater, not the enjoyer, not the food. And that is the truth. And only when we have this knowledge, we can remain at peace, however or whatever be the situation around us. So we saw the benefit of the first part of the first line. The benefit is, I do not carry any guilt. I will not have any guilt. Having guilt is samsara. The second part, we saw that the benefit is, there will be no conditions for my peace. Unconditional peace. As in, no conditions there will be no conditions on my body, there will be no conditions on my mind, that my mind has to be calm, that my body has to be perfect. It has to bend, when I say it has to bend, and there will be no conditions on the situation. That I need to have this person with me, I shouldn't be with this person, that kind of conditions, or any kind of situation. I should be only in this part of the world, I should not go to that part of the world. I should be only in this house, I don't want to be in that house. No conditions. And both these points, as in a feeling of no guilt, that is also moksha. Having no conditions for my peace, if we get to that state, that is also moksha. There is no more samsara. But to get to both the states, what we have to understand is, there is only one knowledge that we need to have. One knowledge. The knowledge being, I am the Ātma, Aham Brahmasmi. So this is about the benefits. Now what is the essence of the first line? First line says, basically, if you put together, body and mind are always in action. I, the Ātma, I am never in action. The body is the karta. Body is the bhokta. I, the self, I am akarta. I am abhokta. What I do? I enliven the body. I am the witness principle. That is the essence of this knowledge. So far we have seen the first line. The first line contains the entire essence of Vedanta. Now we will go to the second line. Second line, Bhagavan talks about, whoever has this knowledge, to that person he says, Sa buddhiman. Whoever has this knowledge, he is wise. Buddhiman. So whoever does not have this knowledge, who are they? Abuddhiman. They are fools. Why is it important, this knowledge? Whatever education we may get a master's, we may get a PhD, doctorate and so on. So even if you get a doctorate in rocket science, whatever be it, that education, will that be able to remove jealousy from my mind? Will it be able to remove the guilt feeling from my mind? It won't. And unless I remove those feelings, I will never be happy. So for my happiness, only, or for my peace, for my contentment, only this knowledge will do. And only people having this knowledge are intelligent. Only these people are wise. And these people are wise among who? Bhagavan says, Manusheshu. These people are not wise among only the sadhus. These people are not wise only among the sannyasis. These people are wise among all men, in human race. He is wise among men because he has got that knowledge. He is Brahmavit. So now that this person is established in this knowledge, what is he? Bhagavan says, Sa yuktaḥ. Yuktaḥ means enjoined. Where is he enjoined? He is enjoined in Brahman. He is a Brahmanishta. He is being able to protect that knowledge. He is joined with that knowledge. That knowledge will not leave him. This is the most precious knowledge. He is able to retain that vision. He will not let go of it. Bhagavan further says this person is kṛitsna-karma-kṛit. Kṛitsna-karma-kṛit. Kṛitsna means all. Karma means we know whatever that needs to be done. Action, whatever actions, whatever duties, responsibilities, whatever all that needs to be done is kṛitsna-karma-kṛit. Kṛitsna-karma. Kṛit means accomplished. So kṛitsna-karma-kṛit means one who has accomplished all that needs to be done. In other words, he has accomplished everything. There is nothing more for him. There is no, I need to study that, I need to get that. Nothing. Everything has been achieved in this life. The purpose of life has been fulfilled. So if you ask a jnani what does he need to do, he will say, I don't have anything, I have nothing to do. Contented. So he is a Brahmavit, Buddhiman, Brahmavit, Sa yuktaḥ, he is a Brahmanishta, kṛitsna-karma-kṛit, he is contented. So that is Bhagavan gives the benefit as he sees for this person, or the person who has achieved it. Bhagavan praises him saying that he is a Brahmavit, he is a Brahmanishta, he is contented. So the essence of this sloka is, he who sees inaction of the Ātma in the seeming actions of Ātma and is able to see the action of the body and mind in the inactive body and mind, that person is a jnani. He is a jnana nishta and is ever contented. That is the meaning of this sloka. Bhagavan is going to explain the same concept in the coming slokas also. But before we go to the coming sloka, about this sloka itself, before Shankaracharya's time, there have been people who had misinterpreted this sloka. They had got it wrong. We need not know how it is, but we will see that quickly. For two reasons, we would like to see them what they had got it wrong. One is just for us to understand how people do make mistakes. The second is Shankaracharya in his Bhashyam, after explaining the sloka, in the way we saw, he himself gives how people misinterpreted this sloka. So he is also explaining why this should be not interpreted in that way. So we should also understand that if this kind of interpretation we get from somewhere else, or even when we are reading on its own, we should not do, we should understand it. We'll see it quickly. Remember, this is a wrong interpretation. So we should not remember this and forget whatever we have spoken so far. So in Shastras, there is something called nitya karma. Nitya karma meaning duties, compulsory duties. Here nitya does not mean daily. Nitya means compulsory. These are all compulsory duties. And in those days, today we don't have that many. There were set of people who were called Purva Mimamsakas. Purva Mimamsakas are people who believed only in the Veda Purva Bhaga. In those days, a lot of people believed in the Vedas and followed the Vedas. Okay, not like today. And these Purva Mimamsakas, they believed, because they were only following the Veda Purva Bhaga, and Veda Purva Bhaga is what? Karma Kanda. Vedanta Bhaga is Jnana Kanda. So Purva Bhaga always talked about actions. It talked about yajnas, homas, all kinds of rituals. So it had a lot of emphasis on karma. That you have to do punya karma, you should not do papa karma. They were emphasizing a lot on dharma and karma. Now, those Purva Mimamsakas, they believed that only actions will give moksha, not this knowledge. Only actions will give moksha. And for them, moksha is what? Heaven is moksha. So you do a lot of punya karma, you will get so much punya karma that you will go to heaven, and that is moksha for you. So these people also believed that by doing nitya karma, as in by doing compulsory duties, these are all mandated by the Vedas. And therefore, because these are all mandated and compulsory, by doing these nitya karmas, one does not incur any punyam out of it. So they believed that if you do nitya karma, you do not get any punya. But if you do not perform it, if you do not perform nitya karma, you will get papa. This is what they believed in. It's the same. The analogy that we can give is, suppose if you take a shower, it does not remove any disease. By having shower, it does not remove any disease. But if we do not shower, we will get disease. If we do not shower for months together, years together, we will get disease. But just by showering daily, we will not be able to remove any disease. So in the same way, they believed that by not doing our duties, there is no new punya. But if we do not perform duties, we will incur papa. And that is how they interpreted this sloka. They said, karmani akarma pashyet. In doing the nitya karma, see the effect which is akarma. So there is no pala. There is no pala abhava. There is pala abhava. There is no result. If you do nitya karma, you do not get any result. Karmani akarma pashyet. And then the second part they took, akarmani karma pashyet. If you do not do nitya karma, in other words, if you are doing no karma, akarma, you will see the result, karma pashyet. You will see the result in the form of papa. This was their interpretation. Shankaracharya says this is wrong. He does not accept. He does not accept it. He does not accept that there is no phala for nitya karma. See, so Shankaracharya says, or we all now believe, we take it, that if we do not do nitya karma, there is papa. If we do nitya karma, there is also a punya. That punya can be converted into chitta shuddhi if we are able to do this nitya karma as karma yoga, as in with Ishvara Arpana. If we are able to do that, it will help us. It will help us quickly. It has got multifold power. That is what we take it. That is how we take it. That there cannot be any action without a phala. Furthermore, Shankaracharya further says, because they say that only actions will give you moksha, knowledge will not give you moksha. Right? Knowledge will not give you moksha. Shankaracharya, yes, knowledge of certain things will not give you moksha, definitely. Most of the things or anything, just knowledge will not give you the result. For example, forget moksha. Knowledge will not give you result also. For example, Shankaracharya says, say this sloka itself, if Bhagavan takes this to be meaning, he takes this, if Bhagavan has actually referred as karma here, if Bhagavan thinks that, or Bhagavan has said that this is about karma, and Bhagavan gives a knowledge in the first line. What knowledge he gives? Even if we go with their interpretation, that nitya karma does not give you any benefit. He gives this knowledge. Suppose he gives this knowledge. Then in the second line, Bhagavan says, a person who is having this knowledge gets moksha because he is kṛitsna-karma-kṛit, he is buddhiman, he is yuktaḥ. So Bhagavan says, Bhagavan gives a knowledge and Bhagavan says this knowledge will give you moksha. Shankaracharya argues, if that is the case, then this knowledge cannot be about karma, because nitya karma, if you get the knowledge about the nitya karma, will it give any phala? It cannot. Only anushtana of nitya karma will give you the phala. It is like, I want to get the body nicely toned, and therefore I have to do yogasanas. Now the knowledge of the yogasanas alone, will it give me the benefit? It won't. So any action, for the knowledge about action will not give you the benefit. Only the action itself can give you benefit. If I want to drive the car from one place to another place, the knowledge about driving the car will not make me go to the other place, the destination. The knowledge about cooking will not give me the food that I want. I have to cook. So any knowledge about action will not give you the benefit that the action can give you. Only the action can give you. But Shastras say Brahma jñāna is the only thing that can give the benefit by just understanding it. On the other hand, everything else you have to not just understand them, you have to also implement them. You will have to also follow them. You will have to do an anushtana. Only Brahma jñāna gives moksha. Knowledge of anything else do not give you moksha. And therefore, Bhagavan gives here a knowledge and he says it gives you moksha. So Shankaracharya argues that the first line should be only about Brahma jnana. It should only be about Ātma jnana. It cannot be about any karma anushtanas, nitya karma or whatever karma it is. So he concludes that it can be interpreted only in this manner. This is just for understanding. Now we will go to the next sloka. Sloka number 19. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnāna karmanam tamahuh panditam buddhaha. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnāna karmanam tamahuh panditam buddhaha. As I said, Bhagavan is going to these, in fact, from 19 until 24, Bhagavan is going to be a comment. These verses are going to be a commentary on the 18th sloka itself. So if you have not understood 18th sloka so far, you need not worry. We will be seeing the same concept again and again until sloka 24, until we get bored of it. Bhagavan is using up so many slokas. He is using so many. Why? Because he wants to ensure that we get this concept deep and clear. And from here on, we are going to see karma in akarma, akarma in karma in various ways. So just to recollect, when we said karmani akarmayah pashyet, karmani akarmayah pashyet, we said in the seeming actions of Ātma, see the inactiveness there. The example that we took was the trees. When we are in the boat or in the train, we see the trees. The trees seem to be moving, but it is not. The tree is inactive. Then in the akarmani karma pashyet, we said see action in the seemingly inactive anatma. The body and mind seem to be inactive, but they are not. And the example that we saw was the distant moving ship. From the shore, it looks as if it's not moving, but it is not stationary, it is moving. Now what does Bhagavan do here? From here in this sloka onwards, we can say, now who is a jnani? A jnani is a person who understands himself to be Ātma. But remember, he will not be going around telling the word that I am Satchidananda Swarupa Ātma, I am not the body. He will be amongst us, he will be one among us. But he will not be the one who will be claiming that I am the Satchidananda Ātma in every sentence. When somebody asks him, who are you? He is going to give the name. He will say, and I live here. And when he wants to food, he is going to say, I want food. He is not going to say, the Anatma wants food. He is not going to go around if somebody asks the age, I am Anatma, I am never born, never die, I will never die. All these things he will not do. When somebody asks him about his place, he is not going to say, I am all pervading, nothing. He will speak like any other person. But within the mind, he is aware of who he is, and he is aware that he knows, I am Ātma. So a jnani is what? Jnani is Ātma. Jnani is no different from Ātma. So wherever we are going to use Ātma, we can always use jnani there. Does that mean, okay, when I say jnani and Ātma are one, Does that mean that Ajnani and Atma are different? No, really speaking, we Ajnanis are also no different from Atma. But because we do not recognize Atma, it looks as though we are different. In truth, an Ajnani is also Atma, Jnani is also Atma. But as I said, we can always replace Atma with Jnani. So when we say, see the inactiveness in the seeming actions of Atma, we can also say, see the inactiveness in the seeming actions of a Jnani. So a Jnani seems to be working, but he is not working. The Jnani seems to be doing something, but he is not doing something. We can always replace Atma with Jnani. And therefore, what do we say? When we say seeming activities of Jnani, we can see the inactiveness. It means Jnani's karmas are all akarma. Anything that the Jnani does is all akarma. And similarly, the corollary, an Ajnani, even if he is inactive, he is performing karma. So Bhagavan is going to say, see akarma in Jnani's action and see action in Ajnani's sannyasa. Even if the Ajnani renounces something, he is still acting, because the Ajnani's reference is not the Atma. The Ajnani's reference is the body and mind. So just to recap, wherever we had put Atma earlier, we can put Jnani. Wherever we had put Anatma earlier, we can put Ajnani. And this is how Bhagavan is going to say from now on until 24. So when we say a Jnani does not, even when he seems to be doing actions, it is all akarma. What does it mean? It means a Jnani, when he performs action, those actions will not give him papa or punya. And those actions will not bind him. And therefore, a Jnani's action must be seen as a karma. This is how we will be going on. But we will take it from the next class. Any questions which we want to take now? Anything from the last class or anything from this class? Or any questions that you had put in the group that you want me to pick up now? Ashaji, you had put a question saying something on, the jiva being, number of jivas being the same. How can, the number of people seem to be growing in this world. Can you recollect?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I had two
So
questions.
I have
One question I put in the WhatsApp.
I can read it.
But the earlier one, the first question that I had asked, which I think I wrote to you separately, was how to reconcile on the number of Atmas that are there.
As we know, the
Because
population
keeps growing, and but there are only so many Atmas in the world, right? So
No. So your question, I can read it here. I have a very basic question on rebirth. As we know, the population on earth has grown exponentially, which means that the birth rate is greater than the death rate. Where do so many Atmas come from? Okay, is that right? That's the question, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. First and foremost, see, there are many ways to answer it, or probably we'll go step by step. If this doesn't, then we can take the second option, or second option, if you are not able to understand, we can go third, and so on and so forth. So the first one is, first of all, we have to understand is, Ātma is not many, it is only one. The appearance of many beings is due to Maya, and I am saying all my answers will be from the standpoint of Advaita. Okay. The appearance of many beings is due to Maya. So the power of Maya is that it can cause the one to appear as many. And you are only, every Jivatma is only a reflection. You are adding only new reflections. You are adding new reflections or new Nama Rupas for the one Atma. So if I have got 100 pieces of glasses, I can break those 100 pieces into each one into 2 or many, and I can make them into 1,000 also. So it is so the reflection in no way contradicts that the Advaitic principle of Atma being one. Okay, so this is one thing. Now the second thing, if you say, okay, the Maya, we have to understand is, Maya has got infinite potential. Maya is beginningless. Maya has got infinite potentialities. So not that the new Atmas are being created, it's more of these potential jivas, because of the Maya is able to create more such reflections, more such stula sukshma shariras. It can, and therefore multiple reflections can take place. That is one way to understand it. But more importantly, if you want to say, okay, I want to reconcile these numbers, I can't have that suddenly some jiva suddenly spurts up today and suddenly vanishes tomorrow, and so on and so forth. The answer to it is, first of all, we have to understand is, jivas are not restricted to human births alone. Jivas includes insects, all sorts of organisms, right from the big, huge elephants, whales, and there are apparently, according to Shastra, 84 lakh species. Species alone, there are 84 lakhs. So the number of jivas in this world are enormous. So a human can become an insect can become a human. So when we are talking about population growth, we are only talking about humans. So there is a possibility that what we are seeing is the other insects or animals or plants, they are actually getting converted into humans now. And not only human beings in this world alone, forget this world. Actually, there are the jivas are not restricted only to this Bhuloka. There is other lokas, Swargaloka, Pitruloka, so many places are there. There are also jivas. And those Devalokas and Pitrulokas also, those jivas also not, they have not got moksha yet. So they may also come back. Kshine punye madhyalokam vishanti. Once our punya is exhausted from heaven, we need to come down. So there could be some jivas which are coming down from heaven, or ones who have finished their hell portion are coming back to Bhuloka. So this we have to understand. But what more importantly, what we have to understand is, Advaita, ultimate answer from Advaita is, all these are illusory. That question itself is invalid. That's how we'll say. Because the question, according to Advaita, even this creation is illusory. It's mithya. There is no such thing as creation. In the dream, we are able to see so many people inside the dream. Where did those jivas come from? In the dream, as long as the dream was real, we had 10 people, 20 people, 100 people. We had seen some animals, we had seen some insects, we had seen some plants, we had seen some forests, we had seen some waves. Where did those jivas come from? Where did that Ātma and Anatma come from? It's all illusory. So finally, Advaita will say that this whole Jagat, Prapancha, is itself illusory. So there is no creation. So the world, these jivas, the birth, the death, are all illusory in nature. They are all appearances. They are just like a dream. So we need not worry about them. Okay. So that is the final answer. Is that okay, Ashaji?
Yeah, thanks for the elaborate reply. I think I need to assimilate it, listen to the recording a few times, and assimilate the information. But I see where you're coming from. But I think I have a counter question, but I think we might not have time to answer it now. We can answer it in the next class.
Okay, you can put that in
about you're saying there being only one Ātma, right? Even though there's one Ātma, but when the Jivatmas are like, even though we are all pieces of glass, we all have our individual karmas. So as long as we have to get rid of those till the karmas are exhausted, we will be born again and again. So I'm not sure
it's not the Ātma getting born again.
Karma is not illusory, right?
No, karma is also illusory. Karma is also illusory, and Ātma does not get born again and again. Ātma is only one. The reflection keeps getting born, takes another physical body, Sukshma Sharira. As you said, maybe we need some more time to this, but I suggest you you listen to this again, especially the third part of the answer, which talks about jivas not being restricted only to humans. At least that should actually answer or give you some kind of a satisfaction in the answer, in the sense that there could be insects, there could be animals that could be reborn as humans, there could be some pitrus who come back to the world, there could be some people who are in Naraka and Swarga who come back to this world, and therefore that could also result in a population change.
Okay, I'll listen to it and then we can discuss further next class. Thanks.
Sure. Okay. We'll probably have another session just for going through all these questions and answers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om. Thank you.